Welcome back, I'm the Redstone Warper, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 amazing builds using movable tile entities. The idea was originally inspired by Mango, and I'll leave a link to his channel down below.
So today I'm going to be showing a few practical things, as well as a few more fun things that you can build using movable tile entities. And the first thing is a storage system, which you can then use a piston feed tape to move these chests around. So each side works individually, allowing you to cycle through all of the different chests to get all your different items. And building this, you can actually make it so that there's quite a lot of chests extending pretty far back if you leave your piston feed tape around. I love the idea of having chests. Another thing you could easily do here is have pistons in the floor, pushing these blocks up like this, and maybe have another block that gets pushed in here, completely blocking off your chests from view. I think that would be pretty cool as well to incorporate in the storage design. Of course, all being made possible with movable tile entities, we can make storage interfaces. Another more practical design that you could build
is the furnace switcher. As you can see here, we have the input rail line up top to distribute the items.
As you can see, all the items have now been distributed and they will begin to smelt. And when they're done, they will empty through the hopper. But let's say we have some iron that we want to smelt too. Well, the cool thing about this is you can press this button, the furnaces get switched. And you can see this is still smelting the stone, and the stone will stay smelted there, ready for us to take out next time we switch it around. Now we can fill our blast furnaces with iron, smelting it super quickly and putting it in the chest. And as soon as all of the items are distributed properly, we can then switch the furnaces back if we want to, and start taking all of our smooth stone out. I feel like this is a really cool design to be able to use, whether you're using blast furnaces and smokers, or blast furnaces and furnaces, but it's just really cool that we can make super smelters that can do more than one function. Yet again, with another one of the more practical features, with movable tile entities, we can now make machines to recycle villager trays much easier than having to break in place this lectern over and over and over and over again. Now, this is the point in the video where YouTube tells me that everybody is leaving because I must be boring. But before you go, if you would just subscribe and leave a like below so you can see more of this stuff, that would be great. And this is the point in the video where YouTube tells me that everybody's leaving because they have better things to do with their life. So before you go, if you would just leave a comment below and leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. Continuing on with some of our less practical applications for movable tile entities, we have a really cool idea for adventure maps built in survival or stuff like that, where you can now make sound effects in the game like this. I feel like this is a really cool idea. Maybe you have some sort of parkour map where if you jump on the floor, it gives this little sound using the beacons down below. But I just find it really fascinating that you can make that cool sound. Moving to the end, for both a tip and something we can now do with movable tile entities, is there have been many times in my Minecraft career where I have gone to the end to get a elytra or shulker boxes, but without an elytra it is very painful to try to walking around trying to find end cities. So this is where I usually use this 3.3 blocks per second flying machine to go flying out into the end until I find one. But there have been plenty of times where I've been flying out and I need more storage space. I haven't got silk touch yet, so I can't use an ender chest, but using movable tile entities, we can now attach chests directly to the flying machine so that we have extra storage on our voyage. But that's not all. Now, we can also take music with us on our journey as well to help cut out the boring drum of pistons. And of course, if you were curious on how to start this machine, all you have to do is machine. Moving on from the end, now that you're back with all of your shulker boxes and elytra, it's time to get mining. So you set up a beacon and you begin to strip mine. Now, maybe I'm just somebody who mines way too much, but I run into the problem where I have to move this beacon and mine it up and move it over a lot, trying to mine out huge areas to gather the resources I need to build redstone contraptions. But with movable tile entities, we can now have a moving beacon. So every time you need to move the beacon, you can literally just fly it around. It even includes support for moving a glass pane so that your beacon can be colored wherever you go. That way, you can mine 50 blocks that way with your instant mine, and you can start flying this machine forward, and you can move it to a new location and continue instant mining. Maybe in the future, I'll add TNT dupers on the front, as well as up top to drill a hole for the beacon beam from the top and drill a hole vertically or horizontally to make it so that you can fly this beacon underground wherever you want and always have the beacon without having to dig it down from the top. Moving to a really cool build that could go really well in some sort of evil lair or castle of some kind, using movable tile entities, we can now create the effect of having a pop-out flame wall that lights in quick succession. And then the dispensers get hidden away and it looks just like normal. I personally think this looks really cool, and I would love to see this added into Minecraft so that we can have really cool flame walls. Moving to another flying machine that could be considered practical is using movable tile entities. We can now get rid of water by using dispensers. Now you might be asking, but Warp, that looks like it's just going to place water as soon as you move it. And you would be correct. But because we have two observers back here, when the flying machine moves, it pulses twice, meaning that the dispensers get moved over this water source, they dispense the water source into the water source, which removes it, sucking it up again, removing the water. So just like that, you can move the flying machine forward and slowly remove all the water using dispensers. And just like that, we removed an entire layer of water off the top. Keep in mind, this also would work with lava as well. Moving swiftly on, we have a piston feed tape, which moves color blocks around to make a combination lock. But typically, in the past, we've used transparent blocks mixed with opaque blocks to be able to pass a redstone signal in to get an output when we have the right combination. But with movable tile entities, we can now have items inside some of them, which can be read by a comparator, changing the output of these redstone lamps based on how many items are in the piston feed tape. And now for the part of the video that everybody has been waiting for. Working X-Wings. Using movable tile entities, we can now move dispensers, which is awesome. So if we get this flying machine started right here, you can see that we can now fly our X-Wing. That's pretty sweet, if you ask me, so that's pretty great, but what's better than a flying X-Wing is one that we can actually shoot. So by activating these pistons over here, we can move the observer next to the dispenser, and if we go back here, and, wrong one, and start the flying machine up again, we can now fly our X-Wing, shooting to our heart's content. Just remember to stay on target.
Thanks for watching. You thought the video was over, didn't you? But I actually have a couple announcements. One, thank you all so much for subscribing and watching my videos. The growth my channel has experienced over the past month is more than I ever could have dreamed of. Second, I'm going to be teaming up with another creator, Zypher1, whose channel will be linked below. And in one of my next videos in the next coming weeks, I will be programming one of the computers that he built, so stay tuned for that.